Hey YouTube, this is Jesse at Create This, and this is my Phantom 2. I bought this a couple of days ago, flew it for one evening, had a lot of fun with it, and the following day, I guess I got a little bit overconfident. I accidentally flew it into a basketball goalpost. I didn't think the crash was that bad, but the back left motor doesn't spin up anymore. I'll show you what that looks like. So there you go, you can see that the back left motor just twitches, it doesn't really spin. I don't know exactly what the problem is with it. I don't know if it's a bearing or an electrical issue, but what I did is I ordered a replacement motor from Amazon and overnighted it. And I think that cost me $30 since it's a black motor. For some reason the black motors cost more than the silver ones. So today what we're going to be doing is removing the case from the Phantom 2. We're going to clip the wires on the motor. We're going to solder the new motor in and heat shrink tube it, and then we'll fly it and test it and make sure that it works. This is what we'll need for our project. Most of these things I had laying around from previous projects, but a couple of things I did have to buy. So the heat shrink tubing right here I bought from Radio Shack. They've got a lot of different kinds of that they sell. I just bought a package that was, looked like it had a lot of material in it so that I can use it for other projects in the future. This is the new motor. Bought that from Amazon. And it came with these screws too, even though I think I can probably reuse the old ones. Need a screwdriver, Phillips head, rosin core solder. This is a desoldering tool from Radio Shack. This is a Hakko FX 888D soldering iron. One of the better soldering irons I've ever had the pleasure of working with. This is just a basic wire stripper. We're gonna need that for removing the insulation around the wires and cutting wires. I think that's it. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the motor that's bad so that I don't accidentally remove the wrong one. To do that, I'm just going to use this Sharpie. I guess I should have added that to the list of tools, but whatever. So I'm just going to put a little mark right there on the side, wherever, just so that I know that that's the one that I'm going to remove. I guess the next step is going to be to remove all of the propellers. In my infinite wisdom, I've put them on there very tightly. It's sarcasm. They just spin off once you get them loose. They all go in different directions, so what I like to do is I like to look at the diagram on each propeller. It shows a little lock icon with a direction. So the lock icon shows an arrow going this way, so that means I hold the motor casing and I turn it this way to tighten it, and then the unlock icon goes the other direction, so I turn it the other way to loosen it. But they don't want to come off. It's the silvers. The silvers are on there really strong. There we go. Okay, so one of my two silver propellers was stuck on the motor. So in order to make it a little bit easier to remove that, I just took a very small Allen key that I had out of like a combination Allen key set, and I wedged it into the motor housing here. And now it's, just like a pry bar. And so I grabbed the motor housing and the Allen key and just rotated in the direction that the propeller indicates to rotate in. It felt like it was going to break, but it eventually just came right off. So, little tip, if that happens to you. Okay, the idea is to probably take out the battery. Using a 2mm Allen wrench, I'm going to start removing the screws around the body of the Phantom. So this is going to be the first screw that we remove. I'm going to show one arm, but we have to repeat this process for every arm. Certainly be easier with a Allen key screwdriver, but I don't have one of those currently. Next, we'll focus on these two screws here. And again, using the 2mm Allen wrench. And finally, we have to remove this little tiny Phillips head screw on the end. It's important to use the right size screwdriver for these tiny Phillips head screws. You don't want to try to force something that's too big because you'll strip the screw. Rotate the Phantom to the next leg. Try again. Yeah, so when you turn it upside down, all of your screws fall out. You know, I think that's probably okay. I don't think there's anything special about them. All of the Allen head screws, you know, there's 3 of them per arm, and then on the tip of each arm, there's a Phillips head screw. So I don't think it's a big deal that they all fall out. Normally when I'm working on a project like this, I try to keep the screws in a very specific place so that I don't lose track of them, but these are all identical. Okay, so at this point you can lift off the cover very gently. There's a wire attached to the underside of the cover, so you don't want to lift it off too quickly or too harshly. Right here is my wire, and I think this is the GPS wire. You have a choice at this point. You can either remove it entirely or you can leave it there and you can just kind of let the housing rest like this. I don't like to put a lot of strain on my wires, so I'm going to remove it. It just lifts straight out. So if you're very careful with it and gentle, you can just pinch it and lift it straight off. Now this is the motor that has the mark on it, so this is the one that we're going to work on next.